Hello all, and welcome to the George Mason University Schar School Alumni Recognition event. This event serves the purpose of recognizing the amazing accomplishments of our alumni, students, faculty, and staff through what most would consider an uncharacteristic time. The Schar School and George Mason University are successful as a result of the dedication, perseverance, and innovation of its community. And it is due to those attributes we're able to thrive and continue to turn policy into action. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Anne Holton. Anne, a lifelong advocate for children and families in Virginia, holds a bachelor's degree from Princeton University and a law degree from Harvard University. She has worked as a legal aid lawyer, serving low-income families, a juvenile and domestic relations district court judge, a child welfare reformer, and also as Virginia's Secretary of Education. And very recently, she served as George Mason University's interim president, and she is currently a visiting professor at the Schar School of Policy and Government, as well as in the College of Education and Human Development. It is with sincere appreciation that I thank Anne for her contributions to the Schar School and to the Mason community. So please take it away, Anne.
Thank you, Mark. I am so proud of George Mason University and the Schar School of Policy and Government to have made our way through this crazy last year, and so happy to celebrate now with our alumni honorees and our graduates and all of you virtually, and focus together on building resilience and moving forward. What a year it has been for resilience lessons. The pandemic, the challenges of racial justice, the elections, economic crisis, flipping our entire worlds to the virtual setting. Throughout all, Mason and Schar and our students and alums have survived and thrived. Resilience is key to the American spirit, and it is alive and well here at Schar. As you all know, I had the opportunity to serve as Mason's interim president in 2019-2020. I had a phenomenal first 7 or 8 months in the role. I really loved working with our administration and our deans and our faculty and our students and staff. We were pushing forward initiatives left and right, and meanwhile, helping support the search for our next president. I was working with the legislature, advocating vigorously for resources for Mason. All of that came to a head at the end of February 2020. And I was so looking forward to a more relaxed last 3 or 4 months of my presidency, time to attend more events, time to spend with students and reflect on the lessons of the year. And then bam, the pandemic hit. Needless to say, my last 3 or 4 months were livelier than I expected them to be, and yet, frankly, equally rewarding because of the opportunity to work with this great team and to watch how well Mason handled the challenges that came to us. We really made lemonade out of lemons. And you know what? It tasted great. I can't express more enthusiastically what an honor it was to lead this university during those early months of the pandemic. You know, I was at the Barclay Center in New York, sitting on a park bench, literally outside the center. I was there for the A10 conference when in mid-March. I'll note that we were undefeated, our basketball team, in the A10 conference last year, in case you don't know it. It had something to do with the fact that we played in the only game at the A10 conference before all of collegiate and professional sports shut down. But I was sitting there on a park bench talking literally outside on my phone with public health officials, local, state, with our university leadership, and making what seemed at the time such a momentous decision to tell our students, then home on spring break, to stay home for an additional week, and that thereafter we were going to flip the university to an all virtual setting for the rest of the semester. Our faculty rose to the challenge, and in those short 2 weeks converted all of their courses, 5,000 courses across the university on an emergency basis converted to the online setting so that our students could continue their learning, complete their semester, many of them complete their degrees and get over the finish line and on to their next steps. I was so proud to be part of that effort and to watch the amazing work our faculty did. And meanwhile, our staff was doing amazing work on safety planning, on figuring out what parts of the university still needed to be open in person, what could be shut down, what were essential research efforts that were furthering the solutions to the pandemic that we needed to continue to support. Meanwhile, we were all working together to plan for a seamless transition to the new president, which I'm so excited that we were able to successfully pull off when President Washington arrived on July 1. Needless to say, I was delighted to hand the baton over to him and return to the faculty at Schar and at the Ed School in the summer, and then to return to my teaching responsibilities in the fall. And coming to that, I taught this fall in person, actually. I was one of the unusual faculty members to have the chance to do that. I taught in Van Meter Hall to graduate students both semesters in education policy. And wow, my students were just incredible. We all came into such a different setting, all wearing masks, all sitting in the classrooms. If you haven't been to Van Meter Hall during the pandemic, you would get a kick to see every classroom full of green dots on the seats where students can sit and yellow ropes over the seats where students should not sit so as to be properly distanced. We've added technology so that everything's equipped with cameras so students can participate remotely. Even in an in-person class like mine, in a typical week, I would have 3 or 4 students joining us by Zoom on the screen over my shoulder. I can't tell you how well it worked and what terrific work the students did. And it was really all because they were there hungry and ready to learn and ready to innovate and do what needed to be done to make the semester and the year successful. Meanwhile, so many of my faculty colleagues had flipped their classes fully online for the fall as well. And while in the spring it was on an emergency basis, by the time fall rolled around, we had all spent much of our summer learning how to do high quality online programming, working with each other within Schar and working with colleagues at the Stern Center, so that we were offering such quality programming by the time the fall came around, our graduate enrollment actually went up. No surprise that our rankings, by the way, at Schar continue to get better and better every year. It means your degrees, alumni, are more and more valuable. And also, you, just as Schar's rise helps you, your rise helps Schar. It's a mutual thing. Meanwhile, Schar continued to facilitate nationally recognized sessions on topics ranging from racial disparities and access to vote. That was the one I attended from the Gender and Policy Center that I really loved. The Hayden Center's presentations on security issues across the board, criminal justice, economics. We've had so many offerings that have been, if anything, more appreciated during this difficult year because it was so easy for people to participate remotely. We've continued to contribute to solutions, policy solutions in the real world. If you haven't had a chance to hear from Saskia Popescu, one of our faculty members deeply involved in state and national discussions about the response to the coronavirus epidemic, watch her interview with President Washington on his Access to Excellence Forum. It's really, really terrific. Schar has really become a major venue for not just conversations within the academy, but conversations with the community about policy solutions. And I know you are as proud as I am to be part of that. Meanwhile, we've always helped populate state and local and federal government, but now especially in this time of administration turnover, we are helping fill the ranks of government with folks who are focused on solutions, on helping translate academic research and thoughtful analysis into the real world policy environment. And our nation is grateful and lucky. I like to say we at Mason are resilient because of who we are. Our students, our faculty, our community, we are scrappy and focused on outcomes. I had an opportunity as president before the pandemic to attend a hiring fair on the Fairfax campus. Thousands of students hundreds of employers, and I had lunch with a group of the employers, and I asked them, tell me, what do you like about recruiting here at Mason compared to other places you recruit? And 201, they said, we love recruiting at Mason because of the diversity of your students. And I said, yeah, I appreciate it. But no, what do you really like? And they said, no, yes, that is what we really, really like. And it is because your students at Mason are scrappy, are focused, are hungry to work. We interview Mason students and they ask, can I start tomorrow? How soon can I jump in? They are innovative, focused forward, and eager, and employers appreciate that. And they are absolutely ready to help merge what they've learned in the classroom with the practical challenges they'll face in employment. So I am delighted to be with you for this celebration, to raise a glass to our honorees, our spring graduates, and the year forward.
My name is J.J. Stakem, President of the Schar School Alumni Chapter Board, and it is my distinct pleasure to recognize two outstanding members of the Schar School alumni community. I'd like to start by recognizing Sean Gallagher, the 2021 recipient of the Schar School Policy and Government Distinguished Alumni Award. Sean epitomizes the value of the Schar School Policy and Government and of George Mason University. He is committed to the pursuit of truth, the free exchange of ideas, the safeguarding of our cherished freedoms as Americans, and to a personal and professional lifetime of learning. Sean is a shining example of the best of Mason's alumni, an alumnus deeply committed to giving back to higher education, to his community, and to the nation. And in doing so, is an around-the-clock ambassador of his alma mater, for which he is especially proud. Congratulations to Sean, recipient of the Distinguished Alumni of the Year Award from the Schar School Alumni Chapter. Next, I'd like to recognize Felicia Mburu, the 2021 recipient of the Schar School Policy and Government's Rising Star Award. Felicia embodies the spirit and values of a public servant. Felicia's work ethic and drive have kept her focused in her academic endeavors as well as her professional career. Felicia's passionate involvement, her ability to connect with people from all walks of life, and her curiosity to learn very much espouses what is meant to be a Schar School alumni. Congratulations to Felicia, recipient of the Rising Star Award from the Schar School Alumni Chapter. Thank you, Schar School, and congratulations once again to our 2021 award recipients.
We as an academic institution will continue to move forward and provide exemplary service and support to the Schar School students and alumni. Stay safe, Mason Nation, and thank you.